At first glance, it looks like he drank too much and froze to death. Hello, welcome to Miss Santa Fairy Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I am doing a book review of The Hollows by Daniel Church. This is a horror novel. It's coming out next month in November 2022 from Angry Robot. So I received this first as an ARC from NetGalley in exchange for a fair review, and then Angry Robot, my favorite publisher, sent me the physical copy, and I'm very happy. So, as immersive as it is creepy, The Hollows strikes the perfect balance of folk horror, mystery, and crime drama. Can you tell that I like this book? I definitely liked it. But first, what is it about? In the bleak midwinter, in a remote village in the Peak District, a once-in-a-lifetime snowstorm is coming, and Constable Ellie Cheatham has found a dead body. At first glance, it looks like he drank too much and froze to death. But the facts don't add up. The man is clutching a knife in one hand, and there's evidence he was hiding from someone who watched him die. Stranger still, an odd charcoal mark has been drawn on the stone beside his body. And this was only the first death. Soon the village is at the center of a whirling vortex of violence and darkness, and as the short day ends, a horror as old and cold as the hills is stirring. Cool. I loved this book. As I said, it's atmospheric and slow burn, bringing in not only typical horror elements, but crime drama, mystery, and some Lovecraftian stuff. The entire time you understand what's going on, but what propels you further is why. The novel maintains a healthy tone throughout, with evocative descriptions of not only the monsters, but the winter landscape. I've got an example here. It's from the ARC, so it could change, but even in winter, trees tried to grow across the path, as if it was a wound the world wanted closed. The characters are interesting and well developed. Some you root for and others you hate. Ellie, the main character, is a cop with baggage. While this trope, a kind of a jaded cop, we've seen this many times, the way Ellie's backstory unfolds shows that it's not like a Mel Gibson cop movie, but one of those commonplace tragedies not even related to her being a cop. Her grief and anger are more complex than just revenge, and they drive the action she takes in the story. In terms of plot, I loved how this was both a folk horror with very creepy monsters, as well as a drama with lots of action between a family from the wrong side of the tracks and the rest of the townsfolk. At first, I wasn't too keen on this outcast family being the human antagonists, as that felt a bit reductive, but as the story progresses, the reason for this, like Ellie's cop with a chip on her shoulder backstory, became more complex, and I ended up really enjoying that aspect. It reminded me a bit of that weird movie Hold the Dark. It had that same kind of bleak tone, similar setting, and a bit of folk horror, albeit in the movie it was more of a metaphorical sense. The Hollows also has a bit of a 30 Days of Night vibe, if you like that movie, and I really like that movie. While the tension with the monsters was great, the interactions between Ellie and Liz were harrowing, and I was on the edge of my seat between those. This tension was different than that of the monsters, and these two tensions kind of played well together. But human versus human always scares me more than creatures, so I was, more into that part. In truth, the monster scenes later in the novel could have been trimmed down a little bit, but either way, I was never bored or skipped over them. It was all very engrossing. The story also branches out a bit to follow different characters as the story progresses, so we get a broader range of perspectives and point of views. The novel strikes the right balance of making us care about the characters, but not making them too real that when they die, as the body count in this book is, stupendous, we are not emotionally damaged by it. That's not to say any character is safe, though. I very much enjoyed the bonding of women in this novel as well, especially given the book was written by a man. The only parts I wasn't super into were the religious discussions that popped up a few times between characters, but that's just a preference on my part. If you watch my channel, you know that that's not really my deal, and that's cool. I'm not going to fault the book for that. I highly, highly recommend this book if you love horror set in winter towns, a bit of crime drama, Lovecraftian elements, and good old-fashioned creepy monsters. It looks like a beast, but honestly, you fly through it. I was addicted to it, and it creeped me out quite a bit. I want to add a couple content warnings for you guys on top of the usual stuff you'd see in horror. So there's some child abuse and neglect of an older teenager. There's mentions of sexual assault. There's children in peril and dogs in peril. Nothing is particularly graphic or really shown, like the violence aspect. It's more that it's kind of happening in the background. Just want to bring that up because I know horror sometimes can be dicey for people. Anyway, thank you again to Angry Robot. You guys are the best. Thanks for watching. And let me know what your favorite And let me know what your favorite folk horror books are in the comments, because I love reading folk horror. So I would love to get some more recommendations because I need more horror in my life.